And something that we're okay with is what we have down the road, temperature-wise.
Yeah, much lighter winds and warmer weather, but yesterday it was a turbulent day in the St. Augustine Pass and 101-mile-per-hour wind gusts and damaging winds in much of eastern and southern New Mexico, blowing dust for many, blowing snow to the north. Wildfires, local wildfires at that, were sparked up near Carlsbad. You guys had a peak wind gust at 71 miles per hour yesterday, and a few dust storms in Albuquerque, 68-mile-per-hour gusts. So very windy weather yesterday, but conditions are going to gradually improve. A 32-mile-per-hour wind gust right now in Albuquerque, a 31-mile-per-hour gust in Clayton, starting to lessen in intensity. The strongest of the winds moving from the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma toward Kansas and farther toward the east. Still breezy weather though, and with the breezy weather, the colder air, the still dry air, and the clearer skies, we're feeling like winter out there. We're feeling like we're at 22 right now in Albuquerque, mostly clear skies, near temperature 33, with a northwesterly wind sustained at 20 miles per hour. So very cold air this morning. At least we're feeling like it. 28% relative humidity. Currently, we're sitting at 31 in Clayton, feeling colder with that wind out there. 25 in Santa Fe, and we're seeing at 25 Las Vegas. Feeling like 16 in Santa Fe at the regional airport there right now. 36 in Santa Rosa, 40 in Roswell and Carlsbad. Patchy blowing dust for you guys today, and still some local wildfires to be put out, but thankfully better conditions than yesterday, much better conditions, and still some blowing dust possible from Deming toward Alamogordo, sitting in the 30s and 40s right now. But patchy blowing dust later this morning throughout the afternoon. 15 in Gallup, blowing snow yesterday in the northern mountains, and still a bit breezy in Wolf Creek. 2 degrees right now with a 12-mile-per-hour wind, a 20-mile-per-hour wind gust, feeling more than 10 degrees below zero. So we are very cold out there. 71% humidity, light flurries occasionally, and 199 inches of snow for the season in Wolf Creek. That's below normal, and below normal temperatures accompanied with a little bit of fresh snow despite the dry and mild winter we've had. The rain snow exiting with the storm system kind of spiraling its way through Kansas, and eventually with the stronger upper level winds following that storm system all the way through the Midwest. Later this morning throughout the afternoon, on the tail end of it, a tail end front, a backdoor front, will stall along the mountain chain with northeasterly winds out east, northwesterly winds for the western majority of our viewing area from the Four Corners all the way through southern New Mexico. It's going to feel a bit cooler compared to the actual air temperatures because of the wind. Not as strong as yesterday, but widespread 25 to 45 mile-per-hour wind gusts today. Highs in the high 30s and 40s in the northern mountains from Shiprock, Farmington, Abiquiu, Taos, and all the way through Clayton, Des Moines, Santa Fe, Chama, and Albuquerque, reaching the 40s and 50s, and far to the south, Ruidoso, Roswell, Lovington, all the way to Deming, Glenwood, and Silver City in the 50s and 60s today. Patching blowing dust, but not nearly as dusty, and clear skies. Sunny at 51 in Albuquerque. So temperatures back below normal with lighter winds, but high wind warning still in effect for the Northeast Highlands. Still potentially 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, especially near the Raton Pass. Up to 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Eddy and Lee counties that still may spark up even more local wildfires. Southeast New Mexico with red flag warnings once again in effect. So leftover precipitation in the Northeast Highlands, rain, snow, and grapple. We had a little bit of that yesterday in Albuquerque, but I think the cloud field will be to your east and north. Santa Fe maybe drizzle at best in terms of precipitation, then clear, colder, and calmer tomorrow morning for the first morning of spring. Feeling more like winter in the 20s in Albuquerque, single digits in Grants and Gallup, potentially in Taos and Alamosa, even below freezing from Silver City all the way through Carlsbad and Hobbs. But then warming up on the first afternoon of spring tomorrow, but at the cost to breezy weather in the Northeast Highlands with a fire weather watch in effect in places like Durango. Cold mornings ahead, but milder afternoons also ahead. Purgatory, Wolf Creek, enjoy the snow because some of that will melt ahead. Gallup, Grants, and Cuba, 40s today, 50s, 60s, and 70s ahead, and near 80 in Las Cruces on Sunday. The TRC still a bit breezy today. Ruidoso, Roswell, patchy blowing dust. Artesia and Lovington still the elevated to critical fire threat today, just less windy and cooler this afternoon. Clayton, Springer, and more temperatures in the 30s and 40s, leftover sprinkles and flurries throughout the afternoon, but spring-like this weekend into early next week. Leftover light snow in the Enchanted Circle. Santa Fe, Espanola, 40s and 50s for high temperatures. Moriarty, Klein's Corners, Tijeras to the Sandia Crest. Temperatures only reaching the high 30s and 40s for the most part. And from the north to south valley of Albuquerque in the upper 40s and lower 50s, Below normal temperatures today, near normal temperatures for the first day of spring tomorrow in the afternoons for Thursday and Friday on either side of normal. Average high 64 in Albuquerque. High 60s, 70s, and low 80s as we head into the weekend and early next week. So improving weather.
I like when normal actually reflects good, comfortable temperatures that we can enjoy.
And not too much of the wind ahead, not nearly as windy ahead as compared to yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Now
Right?
we're talking. All right, thanks a lot, Ryan.